it's to me, it's, and this question comes up all the time. It's about where we are in the game and how tired, how physical he is in the game. You can play a guy 90 play. I remember coming in the first time in 2014. Joey Bosa played 865 plays during the course of his freshman year, and for me, walking out, I said that is ridiculous. That's a lot of plays for a guy. So how many of those 865 plays was he at maximum speed? You know what I mean? Because it's hard for anybody to do that, right? And so what you want to make sure you have enough time that you allow your players to play at maximum speed at all time. If he's just on the field and he's tired, he's not going to be a factor. You're not going to rush. You're not going to get off the ball. And that's key in a critical situation. And you say, well, just leave him on the field. He'll figure it out. Yeah. If he's tired, he won't figure it out. So it's still important. I think substitution has its moment. I think substitution have its place in college football. If you look across the country, we're not the only one that substitute guys. You know what I mean? We substitute guys because I want to play fresh. I try not to do it in tough situation, but I do trust my players. That's what you build in the room. You build a trust with your players that you trust them on the field. And I think that's what makes my room different, because guys think there's accountability. Not just the guys who started, but the guy in the second group has to be pretty good too. That's why you're on the football field.
Does that plan, can that change during a game?
No doubt.
If you go in with the idea that, okay, JT's going to play 30 snaps, JJB's going to play 25 snaps, can that change as the game?
I don't go in a game and say he's going to play 25 or 30 snaps. I don't do that. There's a rotation of subs that I have that everybody wants, but I'm not going to give it to you. But I do have a plan. I know how many plays I kick and play at maximum speed. Why? Because I watch him practice every day. I watch it get into 7-play drive. I know when he's ready to go, another 14-play drive. You guys don't see that. I see that in practice. So when you say, well, why is he substitute? Because I know there's a limit when that body is going to shut down. And I don't want to make sure he's on the field because he's hurt, he's tired, that injury comes, because it's my fault. That's the worst thing that could happen. That I leave a guy on the field too long and like something happens. I won't sleep very well at night.
I know you're speaking about JT when I first got over here. Can you speak more about him? Like, what does he need to do? We saw flashes of last year. To be, I know they're different players, but to be like a Chase Young with the impact he had as a junior, Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa, what does JT need to do to get to that level?
I think this is the jump. You know what I mean? This is really the jump. Going to that third year, that's what you're looking for. And it is really about consistent, trusting your technique, trusting your toolbox, and he can play at a high level. You were seeing him do that. So it's not trying to get him to play a high level. It's being consistent at that high level. I think that's the key going into the fall, going into the winter. And I think that's what he's concentrating on now. He wants to be in the best shape he can possibly be in. I hear him talk about all the time, and his body, cutting his fat down, gets slimmer, but still maintain 270 pounds, can run. And I think he's got a good mindset going into the third year. He knows that the noise is out there, but it starts with him, not the noise. So I think that's what he's focused on.
And he seems like a natural leader. I know you said, as a young guy, it was tough to really be vocal, but he had that speech that he talked about that a lot of people talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, now I imagine he's going to emerge as even more of a leader. Speak about that a little bit, if you would.
I think he's got great leadership skills. And when he speaks, kids listen. For a freshman to stand in front of the whole entire team and give a message, I thought was pretty special. He asked Coach Day, he said, "Can I say something?" That's uncommon for a freshman to ask to speak to a veteran players. But he's got a lot of respect from the team. He really does. And I think when you have that, you have a chance to emerge as a leader. And I think he's got great leadership skills. He's got great people skills. I think that's important too.
Larry, forgive me if you've addressed this, but you've recruited longer than anybody here.
Mm-hmm.
If a kid said NIL's my number one thing, do you stay away from him, regardless of talent? Does he fit in your room?
Yeah, I think we don't talk NIL much, and I don't talk money when I go in and talk to players. I'm not allowed to do that. I think Columbus is a big city, right? So there's a lot of things that can happen in Columbus, and we try to share that with them, right? But since I said this early on, you want a guy that wants to be developed, wants to really have a relationship. And my story is that whatever you take now, if you have a chance to be a top player in the top fifth pick in the draft, are you willing to give that up for this one-time thing that you might get here, right? Or you can be a $90 million draft pick if you get developed. And so to me, that's still a part of it. And some kids, they don't want to hear it, and some kids do. And like I said earlier, those are the guys that we're attracted to at Ohio State University.
Do you factor